Hey everyone, and welcome to our third PROMOD devlog. Firstly, a huge thank you to everyone that helped us test the movement in the public movement prototype. We're absolutely loving the positivity that's coming through from you guys, and as someone that's come from the battalion community, it's easy to see just the positive impact that it's had on our dev team. Jumper was a success for PROMOD. We made the changes we needed to make to the movement, and because you all loved it so much, we're adding 15 new maps to the next prototype. But before we get to the next prototype, let us show you the progress we've made in the art of PROMOD.
Our concept and environment team have been working hard on an art slice. The idea is to give devs, investors, and in case of PROMOD, the players, a visual bar that we're looking to hit. We've created this scene to help build out the art techniques and pipelines that we will need to help build the full game. Consider this learning to walk before we can run. We want to make sure that level design have a huge runway to design and playtest before art gets involved. In the meantime, we're designing, planning, and coming up with concepts for the rest of the game. We want each map to have its own feel with our own twist on it. The enemies for each map will be tied thematically to it, not just for lore purposes, but for clarity and gameplay. We want to find a happy balance between competitive integrity and a modern shooter.
We chose to go down the stylized route because it's better for both optimization and it gave us more control over player clarity. Those were two things that we identified would be essential to making PROMOD a fucking sick FPS. But that's just in the concept stage. Let us show you what we've actually done that you can play later today. We've spent the last couple of months focusing solely on the way the weapons in PROMOD will feel. We knew we couldn't just make standard old school FPS weapons. We had to bring in some of the mechanics and tools that modern shooters use to make things feel phenomenal. Let us explain how the weapons in PROMOD actually work.
We wanted to build PROMOD in a way that if we chose to, we could go the free-to-play route. We had to think about monetization systems really early and not just add something on at the end with no value. We're announcing mod kits. Mod kits are purchased through the in-game store. Each kit is tied to one of our three classes: Assault, Breacher, and Sniper. We're demoing this with the Infiltrator mod kit. All of these weapons have silencers and feel juiced up. They're fluid and the feedback is incredibly tactile. Everything just feels like it's dialed up to 11. We want you to feel unstoppable with whatever weapon you choose, and the weapon you choose in PROMOD is an extension of you. But we don't want to give players advantages by choosing their personal favourite. We want to level the playing field in this fucking sick FPS game. Obviously for us, competitive integrity is important. Maybe not as important as other competitive shooters, but it's definitely a core pillar of PROMOD. When it comes to playing PROMOD competitively, we believe your skill comes from your game sense and not your mechanical skills or settings. Every weapon in the class has the same damage, range, and gunplay values as its counterparts. For example, the default rifle has the exact same timings and values as that of the Infiltrator rifle.
We can guarantee that you won't have a competitive advantage by choosing a different weapon, so we've eliminated the chance of a difference ever occurring. Each modkit weapon is controlled by a parent base weapon. It's impossible to change the values of the Infiltrator sniper to be different from the default sniper because they get all that information from the same place. The only thing the weapon can override are animations, sounds, and art assets. Ultimately, they function the same.
The weapons we're demoing in the mod kit system will be familiar to you. Over time we plan to change this and experiment further as we don't want to be limited by themes. The weapons are the real characters of PROMOD, and the weapon that you choose should be an extension of yourself as a player. We don't want the game to dictate a weapon meta to you. To add to this, we've also unified the movement of PROMOD. All classes now have the exact same movement speed, so you're no longer punished for playing a specific role. Play the way that you want to play and don't be limited by your tools.
Yeah, you know it. In order to get the feedback we want on PROMOD's gunplay, we needed to create a mode that made it fun to test the weapons. We think we've nailed the movement, and now we're going to combine that with our gunplay in our fucking sick FPS's single player mode, Killrun.
Killrun is a run-and-gun single-player game mode specifically designed for you to help us test out the weapon feel in PROMOD. Similar to Jumper, your objective is to rush through the map as quickly as possible, making sure you kill every target along the way. Compete against other players on the leaderboard, or try and collect all 3 stars and pro level on each map.
The maps in Killrun are of course not created in a way that they would simulate PROMOD search and destroy maps. They're made to be fun and fluid weapon trials, although the bots in the world do represent the current player size, scale and hitbox. Finally, it's important for us to let you know that we are looking into how we can evolve Search and Destroy. This has always been the philosophy since we started this project. We've previously created a game where we became entrenched in the past, and we need to avoid doing that again. We want to remain true to the core of what made old school shooters great, but we want to put a modern spin on it and bring Search and Destroy to the modern FPS player. We look forward to playtesting everything we have of you prior to any release.
This is a passion project. It started as us working on PROMOD in our evenings, but now we're working on it full time. We're still trying to figure out how it works in this generation of shooters, but for now, we need you to help us test our fucking sick FPS, PROMOD.
The goal here was to build a solid base from which to evolve PROMOD. But for now, sit back and enjoy Killrun. Let us know what you think of the gunplay of PROMOD and keep in touch with the dev team via Discord.
If you're looking for access to the PROMOD gunplay prototype, be sure to check out the Steam store page and sign up using the Steam beta tool.